Shut up and sit down.
Right, so today's video is going to be on grapevines. I've been practicing them a lot lately. I'm so much more using them for turns than anything else. Not necessarily like doing the really fancy footwork where I'm going back and forth. I don't care as much for that, but this is definitely the start to building that up. That's next in your realm. So I will break it down as much as I can to try to make it as easy as possible, because it's a sick little move a lot of people can't really do because they fall on their face. So if you get it mastered, it looks pretty smooth to me. So let's jump into it. But I want to say before we get started, make sure this is an advanced skill. I would consider this an advanced skill because you have to know how to go backwards pretty well, and you would definitely need to know how to do 180s comfortable going on both sides. So I'll go through that really fast, what that looks like, how to practice in preparation for this skill. But I'd say if you haven't already, go back to those other videos that I had already posted. Check them out, practice them as much as possible before you jump into something like this, because it only gets harder as anything else does. And also, you have to be able to balance pretty well on your front skates. I'm sorry, your front wheels. Not skates, your own skates. Front wheels. So make sure you practice those first. I might have to do a video on that too, just to get comfortable with them, but I'll go over it a little bit here in this video now. So here we go. Hey folks, so I am still doing the 180s, but I wanted to note that as I'm doing this, you'll notice that when I'm doing my grapevine, I always go with my left foot first, which is why you see me crossing like I am before I actually turn around, right? And so when, like you saw in the beginning, when I'm actually going around, that left foot's being set up by that cross, so I can force all my weight on it, and then I shift it to my right one as that one follows behind it. And you'll see when we slow it down a little bit, that'll make a little more sense. But the three things I really want to focus on is your hips, your thighs, and your toes. That is the key. And here you can see it a little bit more. Right now, obviously not going to be able to see my hips, but my thighs, I'm emphasizing that they are extremely close together, right? The whole idea is that your toes are creating this same circular motion you would be doing if you're doing a regular 180, right? So it's somewhat of like a 90-ish, maybe a 80-ish, somewhere in there, to create that circle when you actually start rolling. So that's why I wanted to show this, that your thighs, they don't need to be touching, but they will be extremely close. That'll make your life a lot easier, trust me. And so this aerial view is just me showing the 180, what that looks like as I'm preparing for the motion that's going to happen when you're doing the grapevine. And so I also want to note, you'll see in some of these, like my legs kind of get a little wonky. That's just because I've been doing them a while. It hurts a lot more and it takes a lot more muscular strength for you to actually separate your legs more. Because again, you're focusing all your weight on your toes, and also they're inverted. So it can be pretty painful if you're not used to that. So this aerial view is just to show what it looks like in like slow motion, right? And like I said, it's literally like a pigeon toe. If anyone's familiar with that, my brother was pigeon toed growing up. So Same idea. Your toes are literally going to be facing each other. And like I said, you're going to be making that 180. So this is what that's going to look like. I'll slow it down a little bit more so you guys can see it. And like I said, hips, as you can see this turn now since I'm moving, hips is the most important piece, I would say. Next is your thighs, making sure they're close. Lastly, your toes, making sure they are in the correct position. And this setup is extremely important. And I would highly suggest you go as slow as possible first starting out. And remember, focus on shifting your weight to your toes. Like that, they're going from one foot to the other. And the fact that you're on your toes, you're going to have a good amount of balance for this to actually make sense and work. And so I paused this here just so you guys can see all your weight is on your toes. Please keep that in mind. That is no joke. Now, when emphasize one more time, turn hips, keep your thighs close as possible, and make sure that you are working on holding all your weight on your toes. That is the key. And in no time, you'll be doing the same thing as I'm doing right now. All right, y'all, it's hot. So I hope this video helped. I try to take as many many clips as possible. I slow it down in places that I think are more pertinent than the others. I may get more perspective shots, but I think for the most part, with the things that I've said so far, it should be good to go. So let me know how it helps. I hope you guys get this grapevine down the way I have been. I've been drilling it like crazy, like I said I would. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.
Shut up and sit down.